Okay, so we've been stuck here at 13.96, and same thing here on the readout, the 13.94. We've been stuck in this area for a while, and what I've done is, okay, so if you go here, you'll see the third one to the right, the 13651. You don't want to exceed that number. You want to stick right around that area and stay below that. Otherwise, the BMS inside the battery, the computer inside the battery actually prevents it from being charged. And so we can see here that it's accepting charge, the 1.6 watts, okay, at the 120 amps. But so my question is, if I'm gonna leave this thing alone, instead of have to sit here and watch this thing like the stock market all day long, where's the safest place to put it, right? And so, so right now we're at 14.10 and we're seeing a real trade at 13.94. So it's going to continue to potentially go up. But the issue is, so what I'm going to do here in real time is I'm going to play with this. I'm going to take this up to 25, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to this, and we're going to bring this down to 105, okay? All right, so let's see where that takes us. So now I'm gonna continue to monitor this. And so as you can see, this number here has gone down. The overall wattage has decreased by doing that. And so I'm actually thinking about taking the volts on up too here. Let me just see here something. Let's just see what happens when we go up to the full 1460. Because that's where we're trying to get the battery to, is 1460. But now, again, it's a 1.4. But since we're running higher voltage and less amps, let's see how the top bank reacts to that. Okay, so let me pull this up again. See, the issue is, for those of you not keeping up with what's going on right now, there's a 10% discrepancy between two of the banks, and that's a really big deal. That's what causes the batteries to self-destruct when there's discrepancies between the banks, okay? So right now, we've got a 13651 versus a 3651 versus a 3.357, 3.358. Now, by turning the voltage up and bringing the current down, I just saw that one go up a notch and I saw that one come down a notch. So if that trend continues, that's what we want. So then the answer to our question is higher volts and less currents is the better way to go. But we got to watch this and see if it's not going to continue to rise. If that's going to continue to rise, then we need to turn the current down even further, okay? We need to turn the amps down even further, all right? Keep the voltage up and turn the amps down further. So it could kind of be counterintuitive, and it's better to go higher volts and less amps to get this one to not continue to escalate. And I agree, it's counterintuitive, but I think that might be the actual case, okay? So what I can say is this. This number here dropped, the 1.4, that was 1.8 before, remember? So if you don't get this done and you don't get a battery balance to where all of these are within close proximity of each other instead of a 10% gap, because 0.3 is a 10% gap, okay? So if you don't do that, then the battery self-destruct. And most people don't understand this stuff. So I'm really thankful for Clark's Adventures YouTube channel, because the guys like I am to Corvettes, where, you know, I explained to everybody the issue with the transmissions early on, changing the filters, adding the extra 2 quarts, all these different things. And GM had to revise the fluid sump pan in the transmission because of my findings, because they realized I was right. They were gonna have a class action. So anybody who says that GM doesn't know who I am, bullshit. They had to revise their transmission because of the shit that I brought to the public eye, okay? So neither here nor there. This guy, same deal. He talks about controversial topics like lightning and how to prevent boats from getting struck by lightning, counterintuitive ways to get, so the guy is sharp. And I really am thankful that he pointed me in this direction, because if this guy wouldn't have pointed me to all this stuff, I would have never done this. I would have had no clue. I would have just assumed you buy a battery and you plug it in and it's fine. So this process can take over 3 days. I went ahead and reached out to Voltgo, shot him an email, gave him my order number, took a picture of the screen here, shot him what was going on, and anyway, and I'll shoot them a follow-up email here after a bit with the more updated screen here of what's going on. So let me just take a picture of that again here real quick. That way, if it doesn't balance, then they got to send you a new battery. Now understand, it could be that Voltgo is a great company, and it could be FedEx who dropped this thing off, dropped it one too many times, okay? You understand? Because it's a heavy sucker. So we're gonna take a picture of that. Okay, and then we're gonna push this button once just so that lights up. We're gonna take a picture of that again. Oh shit, I missed it. Okay, so we've done that, okay? So we've got the documentation there, what we're doing. That's also why I'm video recording everything so that people can see what I'm up to. And we just sit back and wait now. I don't mind about it charging slow. I just mind about it getting into the red zone where it's gonna stop the charging process altogether. There's no good in that, okay? So let's go back here to the app and check it out again. We'll go. One thing I will say is the Bluetooth on this thing is very weak. When I'm outside that garage door over there, the phone cannot connect to this battery. That's pretty weak. And the signal on my phone shows it's super weak. So anyhow, we're still hovering in the same spot. It just said 3649, now it says 3650. The other one's still, up there as well. And so we're still sitting here hovering in the exact same spot. And I'm really looking for this one to come down is what I want to see happen. Whether I'm gonna get that wish or not, I don't know. But we're about 50 milliamps less than what Clark said to run. So it's fine. I think we're in good shape, and see what happens. All right, see ya. Also, I'm curious what happens, and I'm not gonna do this, I'm curious what happens if a person were to run 15 volts or whatever and run even less, I think that damages the battery though, but anyway, if anybody really knows what the fuck they're talking about, I'm always open to opinions if you want to comment in the comment section of these videos. All right, see ya.